And we are live. And it is I, Ocean, the Oracle of Kent, Mama D, and D Swagger, and whatever else you want to call me. I made my appearance over at Bigfoot Odyssey and wanted to say hi. But if I go on any later, it's going to be kind of late for me. So I think my time is going to be 11:30 on Sunday. I think that's going to have to be my time. And then just let people filter in because we all know this is probably going to go a while. The way we talk, it's probably going to go. You can't see me. Okay, let me see what I can do about that. I wonder why you can't see me. Great. It isn't telling me that you, it isn't telling me that. Can't see me. What do you see? Okay, it's not telling me. I see me, so I don't know how to fix that. Let me stop it and start it again. Okay. Thank you, love. Nessie, you're sweetie. I'm gonna mod you when I get on when I get this on boy, this is so professional. You're not supposed to do the ums. But this is only my second stream, so give me a break. Okay. I'll mod you, Nessie, when we're on YouTube. This is StreamYard that I'm using right now. And I have to do that because YouTube won't let me stream until I have 1,000 subs. So get me some subs, and then I won't have to use StreamYard. They only give you 20 hours a month. So I kind of have to be careful when I come on, and I don't want to run out of streaming, early or anything. So, Bommy isn't here, and I don't want to announce it was a cool thing that happened, but I don't want to announce it until Bomber comes in. So, but Chris knows all about this. Um, One of the things that I do, and I'm really good at, yeah, that's still a lot of time. That's about 5 hours a week. So I think probably we can somehow accommodate for a little while. Yeah. And, however, we love to talk. Let's face it. We just love to talk. So, I don't know. And this, I kind of want this to be Dilly. Hey, Dill. How you doing, girl? I love you. My dill made it in here. My favorite pickle. I love dill pickles, especially the garlic kind. The mist just sets it off. Just sets the whole thing off. Basically, I wanted to be somebody, the way that shamanism works, I guess I should go about it that way. It's not so much that you have classes in shamanism, although some people do. And we have some instruction. But in shamanism, it's more almost like a download. It's almost like, what do they call it? There are some words for these things. You don't exactly teach, you sort of absorb it. You sort of, and then realize this is what I'm doing. That's why I have that little thing that says the shaman life chose me, because it feels like it chose you instead of you choosing it. So, um, it's one of those things. Yes, yeah. Cookie is here. My droogie from Ohio. If anybody remembers what a droogie is. It's from Clockwork Orange. Probably shouldn't use it. It's kind of violent, but that's kind of how I feel about Chris. He's kind of got a warrior spirit in him. And I wonder sometimes if that is what you're going to find that you are, Chris. I almost think you're going to be, I mean, Bomber, well, you're probably all have a certain amount of the psychic stuff and the empath stuff, but somehow I think Chris is going to be more of the warrior. And another blue. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can eat. I don't care what you do. Well, you know, like I said, you can be over there completely naked. I don't care. Might get Chris all hot and bothered, but Bomber made it. That's my girl. My girl. Yeah, I'm so proud. I don't know. A lot of you guys don't know this, but Bommy, I got to have you come on the show sometime and tell us all about what it was like to find out what your gift was. And you have more. By the way, you do have more. And those will unlock too. Most of us have gifts. We just don't acknowledge them. We're not told to acknowledge them. We're actually encouraged not to. And that's the problem. See, we have a lot more help here. If it wasn't for these people who try to dissuade you from following your path. Yes, exactly. You just ignore it and suppress it. And when I told you you had a gift and you're there going, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure I have a gift. I'm like, no, she's got a gift. We just got to let her figure this out. Like I figured it out. Now, if you remember in the last show, I told you what it was like when I found out I was a medium. I had to finally admit I'm a medium. I'm a medium, okay? I'm a medium. Just accept it. There are churches that will try to burn you at the stake for it. There are all kinds of disapproval. There's a lot of approval too. And I mean, I had a lot of friends who were mediums too, but and that was very approving. It was nice to find. I was in about 5 different metaphysical societies, so I wouldn't go nuts. I could actually talk to somebody there and not feel like I was being misunderstood or about to be burned at the stake, right? Or anything. So you really need, for one thing, an accepting atmosphere helps. Me too, Ness. I'm an extra large medium, actually. It's true. I won't lie. There's just more to love, Ness. We love you. It doesn't matter. It's all love. Love, love. Hey, Bigfoot, you made it in. Hi. I wanted to not start until a half hour after to give you a chance to end because I don't want to step on your toes. I want to step on Bigfoot. I want to step on Big Duke. Oh, hell no. I want to step on Duke's show. No, no, no. Okay, but I have to have some kind of standard time to start. So I think about a half an hour after the portal on Sunday is probably a good time because you're all still probably awake, you know, and we can actually get something accomplished. Portable Tree, hi, how you doing? Yeah, well, I'm glad you could make it in. What are you so quizzical about, World Bigfoot? Duke? Bigfoot! Portable Tree. Gosh, we got some unusual people here, but then again, you're all unusual. And I love you all. My lovely portal family is starting to sift in. I'm really happy about that. This is only my second time out, so be gentle, guys. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. I love the name Portable Tree. You know, uh, is that like a potted plant or something? I mean, or is that some kind of code, portable? Okay, so basically, Bomber realized she was a psychic. That's how it happens. When you're shamanic, you know, and you've had this life of people just not believing or not, and then people do stupid stuff like they test you. Okay, so what color is my underwear? You know, then I'll say something really embarrassing, but yes, yeah, I'm doing remote viewing. I do remote viewing too. I'm going to do remote viewing classes. Um, like I said, though, mostly this is stuff that you pick up. It's not literally a class like you'd have in school. You end up kind of getting it by osmosis. It's more of an acceptance that you can do this. You know what? I'd put it that way. It's an acceptance that you know more than you think you do. It's an acceptance of your talents. Oh, good. Yes. You mean the newest psychic, uh, our new star psychic Bomber, who helped Elaine last night and found out she was psychic and finally accepted it. Finally accepted she was a medium. That's how it happens, folks. It's not that you don't have the ability. Look me in the eye. If you can see past my eye, I'll take my glasses off. You all are divine. I mean, you have a spark of divine, all of you. And you all have gifts waiting to be opened. And I hope to be one of the people to help you open the packages. Okay? I hope so, because you all have gifts within you. I know this because I have met enough of you. When you are drawn to something like the paranormal portal, my show, Paisley show, you know, even the Bigfoot people, you've got something going on, whether you accept it or not. And I know this. I've just run into too much of it. The Bigfoot are showing themselves to you for a reason. You wouldn't even be able to acknowledge it if you didn't have something going on. See? It's very easy to tell. And small, medium. She's not that small, actually. She's 5'8", like me. That's my daughter there. Now, you better watch out. I'm going to pass on some things to Bomber. Yes, we're not going to talk about her. We're not going to talk about that. As in, we're not going to give any details of what happened with Elaine. We'll let Elaine do that. Oh, is that why you didn't want to come in and talk about? Okay, you would have to. Okay. I got you, dear. Don't worry. Hopefully you will get over that you can talk about it one day. If you don't want me to say any more about it, I won't, but I am very proud of you for accepting it. You know what, Portable Tree? Weird is what we do here. Really. Weird, you know what? There's an interesting thing about weird. WYRD. When you really look into the roots of that, it's magic. It means magic. Magical. Weird people are magical people. Y'all are magic. See? Perfect. Perfect. Oh, wow. That needs, I'm going to have that t-shirt. I swear I'm trying to make a t-shirt shop, and I think that's going to be one of the shirts. Embrace the weird. I love you too, sweetheart. I love you all. You are like a family to me. Get people asking about aliens and demons and sending pictures. And yeah, I know. We got our specialties. We've all got our specialties. I deal a lot with the spiritual stuff, the disruptions, the hauntings, the poltergeists, the demons, the whatevers, the trans-dimensional predators from below or whatever. Oh God, and thank you for being there for me, Duke. I won't forget that you did help me with that. We did get that all cleared up, by the way. We will do probably a broadcast on that. And Duke, if you want to come on for a little bit and talk about your aspect of that, you can do that too at some point. If you want to come on and talk a little bit about what your part in that was. So, specialty. That's right. That's why I'm the Hatter. I'm the Mad Hatter. You will find your specialty. I'm probably always going to be wearing a hat in these videos because I love hats. It's funny. That kind of fits me, the Mad Hatter. It really does. So we've got Alice, we've got the Mad Hatter, and who else have we got? That's right. It'll only make things weirder. Yeah, my friends used to call me the Hat Woman because I just love hats. I make it. I even have. I'll have to show you my wide variety of hats. I like to get them and decorate them and make them and do stuff. Yeah, you have to have the intent, Bigfoot, know that you are safe. You know what, Portable? That is true. I got the message that because when I was doing the Mind Speak thing, I got the message that, I said it, but I always felt safe in the woods. And they said, you always were safe in the woods. You never bothered us. You were always respectful of us. I got a feeling like you were always respected us. So you were always safe in the woods. We're not going to do anything to you, They really aren't interested in causing problems unless you get too close to their territory, unless you come right into their front yard, then they're going to keep an eye on you, is the way that I took it. But then the transdimensional predators came in and screwed everything up. But that's another story. We did get rid of them, though. In fact, I checked. They're not coming back ever. And that's one of my talents. And further, I found out where the start of that was, Duke. It was one of the jobs that I did for somebody on the portal. That's when they picked up my trail. And I went back. I let Sean put this thing away. I should have done it myself. I should have done it myself, because if I would have done it, it would have been really gone. It wouldn't have gone any further. But I let him throw it somewhere, and I should have done it myself. Now I know that's my thing. I do it. When I run into that, I do it. Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. Exactly, Bomber. It's exactly the way things start. And that's also your remote viewing. Now that, see, as you get into that, that is going to be where you're going to see stuff remotely too. Yes. Of course it was. You are literally seeing what's going on in a place you shouldn't be able to see because you aren't really there, are you? Yes, you are. You know why? Because we're omnipresent. Let me move the camera a little bit and see if I can get a little. Nah, this isn't going to get any better. This is as good as it gets. Okay. And your throat chakra? Yeah. Paisley was just talking about that. Although to me, I was taught that the throat chakra was about expression and your true emotion is in your heart. But that was the system I was taught. And there are more than one system, more than one understanding of chakras. Yes, exactly. See, that's another thing. Bomber, I wish you'd come on and just talk about it that way. Because it's easier when people are seeing your face, but that's okay. If this is the way you can do it, this is okay. Hi, Champagne. How you doing? How you doing? We're discussing finding your gifts, and we're also going to do a quick divination class in divining with a pendulum, which is a good place for anybody to start who's not quite sure. I would say it's probably the easiest tool you can make and find, and one of the easiest to work with once you get the hang of it. And you can just do it anytime, and people won't know what you're doing. You're gonna be fine, Bomber. You're gonna be fine. A lot of stuff will come up to be cleared, and we'll clear. We'll just make sure you're clear, and you'll be fine. As you clear it, it'll get more and more strong. Champagne, hi. Wow, you must have found me from somewhere. Maybe I was a suggestion or something. You're completely new. I never saw you at any of my other chats, so this is great. Yes, Bomber, it's wonderful to have you on board. See, this is what I was hoping for with this stream too. I'm hoping, since I know that our family is talented, I know, and by our family, I mean our online family that we have. And Champagne, welcome to the family. We have known each other on other chats, and I'm so glad to have you. And you are wonderful, wonderful. I am too, and I'm a shamanic medium, and we're going to go over all things concerning bringing out your gifts gradually, including even recipes and food and health and to help your body stay strong while you're going through all this, because a lot of this can be taxing energetically, and you need to keep your energy up if you're using your gifts. And I'm sure Champagne knows this. Yeah, if you're a reader, you got to keep your energy up. It's very important. You can't run yourself into the ground. It's just not good. It's like if you're in a plane and those masks drop, you got to put one on yourself before you put one on the kids, because if we lose you, if they lose you, they're lost. So you need to take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. The pain was bad, yeah. There are things you can do to mitigate that too, but yeah, it is hard. That is the empath thing, and we have got to use discretion when we use the empath thing. Nessie, as soon as I get on YouTube, I am going to mod you, and you can be one of my mods. So there, haha. Right, riding in the front row on a roller coaster ride, says Champagne, and I have to agree. Hi, Etri. Nice to see you here. Yeah, honestly, I feel that way a lot myself. And, a lot of times I will feel things, and on the subject of empathy, I'll feel things and think it's me, and it's not me. It's not me. It's somebody around me or somebody who's thinking of me. Unfortunately, I felt my friend have a heart attack. I thought it was me. I thought I was starting to have problems. It was her. As soon as I found that out, I was okay. But yeah, it's not an easy path. But you know, somehow I'm told that we all choose this before we come in. So it's not necessarily an easy path, but it's easier with friends. It's like the journey to Mordor. It's easier if you got friends, right? So right, that's a good idea, portable. Yes, you can say, this is not my emotion. You know what? One time I was craving liver, and I couldn't figure out why. Didn't really have the taste for it, but somehow liver kept coming. It was my cat. My cat wanted liver. And when I said, "Oh, Mao, do you want liver?" And she's like, "Well, yeah." What do you think she was trying to tell me? Right. The more you accept it, the easier it is. Yes. Right. And we'll help you with all aspects of that if you need, Bomber, because that's, like I said, that's one of the things I hope to do with this stream is provide support to people who are awakening and who are accepting, because I think some of you have already started to wake up. It's just that you're not accepting it yet. Once again, we're taught not to. We're taught to look for some other excuse, some way to explain it away. But really, you know, we all have a certain amount of awareness of everybody else. That's one of the reasons why we can't endure being separated forever. It's not really easy. I mean, you throw somebody in the hole where they don't see any people. I mean, we were almost thrown in the hole during lockdown. How much crazy did people go then? Humans really are connected, and that's the way they need to be. They need to be a little bit connected with each other, maybe not roaring all the time in my head type connected, but we have to have that connection. It's just the way we're made. And we don't feel right without that. Now, of course, as your awareness expands, you will find that you're still connected, even though you're on the other side of the world. You will start to feel like you have an internal landscape, and it's peopled with people you know and people you don't seem to know in the outside world, but they exist too. Hey, exactly. Exactly, Etri. You know what? It's an honor for me because every time I see someone bloom, it's really exciting. I feel so good. It makes me so happy. Mediumship is the word. And empathy. You have empathy with that. And yes, it can be very draining. We need to get you, well, you need to just get on a care plan to take care of yourself while this is developing so that you don't burn yourself out, because that can happen. That's why sometimes you just have to shut it down and go, be alone, ground. And I hate to say this, but I had no idea what somebody else told you about beef, but when I mentioned beef, that was one of my guides saying flat out, beef is very grounding, for one thing. Well, it does two things. Now I hear this. Beef is grounding. Eating is grounding. I think that's why some of us put on weight, is because we're trying to ground. You know, it's like we're trying to ground. It's like so hard. We feel like we're flying away. Yes, you know what? A lot of us actually enjoyed enjoyed being away from uh, all of the crazy stuff and not really being expected to be anywhere for a while. Oh, yeah, freaked out. I bet he would be. I bet he would be. Because, oh, wait a minute. Bommy, my good daughter, can you please help Elaine get in here? She's on the Ohio Woo crew. Right, Truth in Me. Hi. Good to see me alive. Well, if you saw me dead, that would be an even bigger trick, wouldn't it? Yep. Then you'd really be mediums. But that's not coming for a long time, so don't worry about it. You won't have to see me dead for quite some time. I plan on hanging around. Very hard to kill. And even when you do kill me, I might come back. I had an out of body and a near death during my near death experience, and I have a feeling that it's going to be. I'm not leaving until I'm good and ready. You know what? I totally believe that Bigfoot exists, and I totally believe I've been around them all. And that's another one. I had no idea until I saw shows like Duke's and others talking about these cryptids and Bigfoot particularly. Elaine, so glad you made it. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Okay, hope everything is getting better for you. Hope you're starting to feel a little better, and uh, big hugs. Big hugs, Elaine. Yeah. Okay, that's fine, Farm. Thanks for coming in. Hey, we got a celebrity. Farmy's got a stream too. Got a couple celebrities. World Bigfoot's got a stream, and Farmy has a stream. M has a stream now too. M, hey, so good to see you here. We're talking about finding and mostly accepting our gifts. And this is the big thing that I've realized for quite some time now. Most of it is just about accepting our gifts. Yeah, you're a select. Yeah, okay. Mr. Humble. Mr. Humble. I know you. That's okay, sweetie. You and your steel-toed boots. I'll tell you. Okay. Have a duck pond, not a stream. Come to Nessie's duck pond. It's kind of wet, but okay. A little soggy, but not quite like. MCAT, it's really good to see you here. I was hoping you'd show up someday, and here, this is the day or night, actually, as it goes. Walk in the woods. You know what? Yeah, that's right. Bami has a stream, or well, she has a channel, and everybody's getting a channel. It's really cool, and everybody's starting the idea of streaming, and it's like there's been this big blossoming. It's really cool. But the problem now is finding a time to come on. And Duke, I hate to say it's going to be 11:30 for me, I think, on Sunday, because if I start any later, I'm just going to be, toast the next day. So, uh, yeah, I like to come in and see my friends, though. I will always support my friends if I can. If I know that you're on, and I'm on to see that you're on. And resistance is futile. Yeah, resistance is futile. Oh, there you go. Celebrities get paid well in that case. Yeah, we're all evolving. Isn't that interesting? Well, there you go. That's right. Life really works in spirals and spheres, not in straight lines too often. That's why people don't understand time. Okay, well, that's great. That's great, Duke. I'm glad you're moving your life from yours to Tuesday, and that's great. I'm, yeah, I'm happy to have Sunday. It's fine. It's not a fancy time slot, but yep, I guess it's a good one because it's, you know, kind of a quiet day, right? Well, like I said, I'm planning on um 11:30, which should be enough time for Duke to finish up, I think, but I don't know. It depends. Depends. So, depends. Isn't that some kind of diapers or something? Okay, let's not even go there. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah, there's going to be humor. There's going to be weird humor. See, I got that weird word in there. Weird, which remember means magic. When you really look at the etymology of weird, it's W-Y-R-D, which is magical. So if you're weird, you're magical. So there you go. Adult diapers. The way some of you just are always online, I wonder sometimes. Mm. Yeah, good. I'm so glad, Etri. I'll probably always be too young for that. Weirdos unite. That's right. Weird pride. That's another T-shirt I'm gonna make. Weird pride. Right, MCAT, and don't you forget it. Portal depends. Brent's face stamped right on a diaper. There you go. Oh dear. I don't think he'd like that. I'm not sure he'd really be into that. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Weird. Kind of looks like wired too, doesn't it? Well, this is it. This is the wired part. Oh, unless you're wireless, that'd be Wi-Fi. Oh, thank you, Strange. Hi, Strange. How you doing? Hey, great to see you here. So glad to see you here. And by the way, if you haven't done it so far, please like, share, subscribe, and help me get 1,000 subscribers so that I don't have to use StreamYard and I can just go straight off of YouTube, because right now I'm using StreamYard and it's okay, but it has its limits. So yeah, her shows are always about, Mommy's shows are always about being in the woods, which is great. I love the woods. Oh, really? Great. Yeah, I'm told that. And humor is very healing. It's another part of, in fact, there were very particular shaman called heyokas, and the heyoka's job was to be the contrary shaman and make you laugh, much like the court jester did. They would do things backwards so that you would see the wrong way to do things. And so a heyoka was a sacred clown. So I think a lot of people have, particularly men, just love the heyoka stories because I think they all, I sometimes think most men have a little heyoka in them, in their personality. Yeah, YouTube sucks. I'm going to put some things that YouTube won't like on BitChute. So look for me also to start putting some things on BitChute soon because they don't censor. So if it's going to be kind of a sensitive thing, and I do have a few sensitive things that I'm going to end up discussing that YouTube won't like, so I will just put it over there. Or there is also another site called Library, LBRY. I haven't really done much with it, so I don't know much about it. And yes, it is good for the soul to laugh. Absolutely, Elaine. And big hugs, and my wings are around you. There are people who actually have reported seeing my wings and seeing and actually feeling them too. It's kind of weird. I guess I have etheric wings. Heoka. It's usually spelled with an E. Heyouca. Or sometimes they use a K. But yeah, that's very close. Yes, truth. To tell the truth. And the truth is in you. Actually, that's an interesting thing, because I used to say that. Because, you know, where X-Files would say the truth is out there, I would say the truth is in you. The truth is in there. That's where it really is. The truth is really in you. Okay? And you will be able to discern that as you trust yourself a little more. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying, Duke. We kind of got to do that to protect our backside, right? Hi. Hey. And honestly, you know, you can't, you, Carrie's on? Who's Carrie? Where's Carrie? I don't see Carrie. But hi, Carrie, if you're on. Hi. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who comes in. I love y'all. You're all very precious to me. So this bit about accepting your gifts, and I think I'm going to call it that. I think I will just call it that, accepting your gifts. Because if you're a human being, or in Dawn's case, a human being, if you're a human being, then you have an ability to do this stuff. You just haven't brought it out, or you haven't accepted it, or you haven't actualized it in some way, but it's there. And I think really all of us had all of this at one point. And something happened that, and we all have theories about exactly why it's gone, what happened to that, and why only some people ended up having it, almost like a throwback thing. That's okay, Bomber. You're allowed. You've been doing really well. Dilly just giving us the bombs. Boom, boom, boom. Humans are different than humans. Huh? But, well, you know, we'll have you on to explain that sometime, Farm. Oh, a farm line. Yeah, that was really, honestly, Farmy's got another sense of, you got a sense of humor too. Yeah, that's what I love about you guys. I love you. You have such a fun sense of humor that, you know, it's like some people, they only laugh at their own jokes. And I think humor has got to be a part. I've learned quite a lot from humor. And actually, if you don't think God has a sense of humor, just look at your friends. What happened? You know, it's like life is pretty funny. So hummus. Mm. Oh, sense of humor. Right. We were talking the other day about how when you find change, a lot of times the spirits will apport things, and they're trying to talk to you when they give you things. Sometimes it's just a gift, but sometimes they're trying to tell you something. And if you're finding change, like if you're finding a penny, 1 penny, that very well could mean a penny for your thoughts. They're trying to get in touch with you, trying to get you to think of who they are and get in touch with you. 2 cents might be putting their 2 cents worth in. 2 dimes might mean a paradigm, like you're about to have a different paradigm, a paradigm shift. And I found that but change can just mean change, that things are going to change. And I wrote a song to that effect. I probably will be putting that on YouTube because I own that song and nobody else, and they can't do a thing about it. I'm not selling my mind for a penny. No. No. 50 cents at least. How much is brain per pound? Right. He's a working man. Platypus was once considered a cryptid, as with a giant panda. Yeah, you're right, Bummer. What about a $20 bill? Well, that is a big change, I think. But honestly, you know what I think it meant when I found a $20 bill? I think they were talking about 20. Now, this year, I think. That's my guess. Because we are in the 20. So interesting, huh? Which is different from a pair of dimes. So, pharmacy need make offer. I love you guys. You guys are so great. I just love you. Brains! Brains! I love to make that little trill noise. Brains! I'll probably do it a few more times before it's all over. Yummy. Well, you know, that's what sapiosexual actually means. I tell people I'm sapiosexual because I like brains. It means I'm attracted to your brain, sweetheart. So I plan to have a lot of fun here. I plan to do some teaching, and some of you are just going to absorb it, and some of you are just going to accept it. Accept it. You're divine already. You're divine. You're a human being. So just accept it. Sorry about your luck. No, it's a great thing to be a human being in this time. You're seeing a shift that we have been waiting for a long time. Look at what is going on. We live truly in interesting times, and that's supposed to be a Chinese curse. I have heard that is the curse, is may you live in interesting times. But however, talk about remote viewing before you go into the pendulum. Sure. What do you want me to say about remote? What direction do you want me to go with that? Have a really crappy day, and what's your day? 2020. Yeah. My day was 2020. Or they'll say my day was COVID. It was a COVID kind of day. So much chat. Okay, well, we'll know you're with us, even though you're not talking. Okay. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Because I'm so impressed by you all. You all are very impressive people. Oh, you're making me hungry. Cut that out. Hindsight is 2020. We're going to have some interesting hindsight. Either that or hindsight could be optical rectilitis too. You know what that is? Shitty outlook. Okay. Anyway. Hindsight is 2020. It really is. Yep. I should have, would have, could have, and maybe I did and didn't know it. Like here I have been around Bigfoot all my life and didn't know it because I'd always been told that was impossible. They were in pot, and it never just occurred to me. I mean, we all have our blocks, you know, and the comfy seat. Oh, toot the horn. You guys are going to have truck. Yeah, here we go. And the truck keeps going. Oh, that's right. 4 months forward. Bomber is saying that the clocks go forward next month. Like she's hoping for 4 months. Okay. Honestly, really, I'm not having that bad of a 2020. It started out a little rocky, but really, this last part, I'm not I'm not doing so bad. I'm actually doing better than I have been doing in a while in a lot of ways. I'm having a live stream. I always wanted a live stream. I wanted a live stream all the way back in, I didn't know they even existed, and I wanted one. I took some broadcasting training. I wanted to do something like this, but it's only been in recent days that we've really had the ability for just anybody to do this. So it has been a strange year. Yes, it has, Farm. It has, Carlton. Yeah, the clock. You know what? I'll tell you something, Etri. The clock. Oh, you go and miss. You go and miss Dill. Okay, sweetie. Hugs. And I do understand it's kind of late. We'll try and get a couple of shows on a little earlier. Ingo Swan, well, he was an amazing remote viewer. He was a really good one. There are a few other good ones too. Rock Arky's another good one. Rock Arky is amazing. There are some very amazing remote viewers. I'm a pretty good one, and I plan on having a remote viewing class. If I can get if I can get unlimited streaming, I would have probably something almost every night. I'd try and fit something in almost every day, or at least every other day. So yeah, it's 12:27 here. Oh dear, really? Strange land, where are you? It's like 12:26 here. Yeah. Well, oh. Elaine is getting well fed. That's good. Remote viewing. Let's see. What do we want to say about remote viewing? Well, the way that you see remote viewing is Bomber, just like you saw what you saw in your mind's eye, what they call your mind's eye. It sort of looks like a daydream, or it sort of looks like when you're trying to imagine something. It's that same mechanism, and that's the same screen that you're using when you remote view, I think, because it is your third eye. And in order to get clearer and clearer, you want to detox your third eye. You want to detox entirely. I would recommend for anybody who wants to do this kind of work, do all kinds of detoxing. Slowly though, because if you do it fast, it really sucks, But cool, Truth. Well, Newfoundland, Canada. Wow. Well, Bommy's from Canada. Yeah, the Vikings weirded it up. Hey, I'm not wanting to identify too much with my avatar, because that's how I consider my body. I consider my body, it is an interface. It's like an avatar. Like when you go into a game or a chat or something, it's like an avatar. It's the way you interface with this particular reality. But it's not you. This avatar, the Vikings on my dad's side and the Native Americans on my mom's side gave me some interesting gifts in this Abby. But I know I am not this avatar. I know I'm a lot bigger than that. So really, you're a body and a spirit, not a spirit and a body. Your spirit is just running your body. And oh, that's wonderful, Elaine. That's wonderful. Elaine, I'm so glad. Yeah, Shaga, you know what? I am starting to use mushrooms more, and I can recommend that. That is helping a lot. The mycelium, those silly mycelium, maybe that's why I'm silly. No, the silly mycelium, they kind of have a brain-like look to them, a lot of them, don't they? All those folds and everything. Yeah. Yeah, Elaine, you are blessed to have friends with you at these times. I didn't really have anybody around when my mom died, not even my family. That was really rough, but it's nice to have somebody around. It is. I had some friends. I had a few friends. We're not going to get into that. Yeah. Strange tooth. Okay. You know, it's okay. I know they're not really gone. It is hard sometimes not to be able to have the 3D version of them, but I get visited and I know I do. Like a lot of times I will hear something, like I will hear my mom saying one of her sayings. I know she's there. And my dad, he shows up a lot. And some of my other friends who have gone on, and my pets. You will have your pets around you. You all who have loved your pets and your pets have loved you, they're around you. They show up, I'm sure. Pardon me. And I'm getting a great big bag of cordyceps. I would recommend that too, because I hear about all the amazing properties of cordyceps. So, remote viewing is interesting because you're going somewhere, you're sending a piece of you somewhere, your awareness out to see that object. And I am finding that for many people, they find they are there. You're just in a the ultimate spacesuit. Sorry, I don't mean to keep clearing my throat, but maybe here, let me take a drink of something to help that a little bit. So with remote viewing, you are there. I mean, a lot of remote viewers find they can also feel, they can also hear, they can also smell things. They, can even, some of them can go into the minds of people that they're remote viewing and see what's in there. And so you are, in effect, you've got the perfect spacesuit. You can go anywhere. You can't be harmed in that form, as far as I know. There, well, you will feel things. I mean, if you get into a tussle with somebody, you might feel some things, but you can't be killed. So, I know some people who have have had a fight in there and they have to heal up a little bit. But I think it's an energetic thing. It's not quite the same thing. A bomber fish. Oh, that's cute. Oh, Elaine brought her kitty cat home today, and she's got her bone hoe with her now. And now they can be a set again. Well, you know, Duke, if that's where you feel at home, you know, you got to find where you feel at home. And you will be the most happy. You'll be more balanced. Yeah, I had to find a place that suited me better than my old place. This place suits me pretty well, but I have a feeling something else is coming up. Yeah, it's weird. And I have actually been remote viewing and felt somebody else remote viewing me. That is possible. It is possible to remote view another remote viewer wherever they are. I actually went somewhere and was checking something out for somebody and felt somebody staring at me there. What a creepy feeling. It really is creepy. Yeah. Energy cannot be destroyed. Therefore, what are we? We are really energy, right? Because we can't be destroyed. I'm really convinced of that. And my guidance tells me that, and I always feel that your best guides are versions of you. That's what I usually find out. I mean, you may have others show up, but your best and highest guides are some version of you, usually. And that's who you're really talking to. Your version. Like if you have say some people talk to the archangel. If you have Archangel Michael show up, you're going to have your version of Archangel Michael show up. That's what I think. Because everybody sees life through their own set of filters, their own unique set of filters. So what you're seeing might not be quite the same as what somebody else is seeing when you're seeing that. And that's been proven to me I go to a remote viewing thing, and that's one thing that he always says is everybody just doesn't see things alike. Some people will concentrate more on some details than others. Great. That sounds great. Great to me. 75 and no snow. Yes. Well, you're going to interface with them on your own. See, the archangels interface with you on your own level, whatever level that is. All of these beings do seem to interface with you on your own level. That's because they're your version of that being. And that's been what it looks like to me. Yeah, that's the way I have experienced it anyway, and others have spoken of it. And they shut it down. Somebody else was remote viewing the remote viewer and they shut it down. What happens when we all realize that we can do that and we're all remote viewing all over the place? No fair remote viewing me when I'm in the shower or some dudes. No. Yeah, it would be nice. But so no remote viewing people in the bathroom. That's weird. No, that's not weird. Weird is magical. That's creepy. So don't be creepy. Come on. So remote view the lottery. You know what the funny thing is? Time can also be crossed with remote viewing. And what all divination, and this goes for the pendulum too, it's based on as the pattern is now. If the pattern keeps going the way it is. Now, if a change is made, the future can change. It's not set in stone. There are some bigger things that seem to be happening regardless. There are some things that seem to be pretty much fixed in they're going to happen. There are a lot of things, though, that can be altered. So, yes, there is a value to knowing what's coming up because you can alter things. And I can't tell you why it's so hard to do the lottery thing. It must be some kind of a mental block that we have, or we'd all be freaking rich, wouldn't we? But it's like a mental block. Now, if I find we're just magical, I told you, you're my girl. I adopted you, sweetheart. That's why. Yes, truth. Truth says they hear, are you a she or a he? Truth. Truth says they hear people say things that they never said. Yeah. And I have them get mad at me because I will answer them before they finish talking and they think I'm stepping on them on their sentence. And she, okay, truth, great, good to know. I don't want to offend anybody. But yeah, I've had that happen a lot where people get mad at me, but I'm reading it right out of their head, what they want to say faster than they can say it. And so I'm answering them before they can get it out, and they get mad at me. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Right. There are millions and billions of multiverses, as far as I'm concerned. I think there's a bunch of them. I think probably every single choice we make is there's another little branch going off. You know, so I decide to have honey instead of maple syrup on my pancakes. Different branch. Mandela effect. It's interesting because I have had something like the Mandela effect, Bomber, since, oh, hi, Tina. Okay, great. I'll try and remember your name is Tina. Hope it sticks in my mind. But, well, I'll hope. The Mandela effect, okay. What I think, I have been Mandela affected since I died and returned. I've had changes. Things would just change pretty regularly, and most often they would change around what they call the hinges of the year, which is the spring and autumn equinox. So really, it's like, here, let me take this off because I'm kind of, I have my little device here to hold my phone up and it's kind of getting annoying. So basically, I have noticed that, oh, geez, that's better. Oh, so much better not having something around my neck. Okay, remind me, what the heck was I talking about? Ah, relief. Okay, Mandela effect. I'm glad it's in print. Quit dying. There you go. Quit dying. That's it. That's the problem. There's your problem. You keep dying. That's your problem. You gotta quit doing it. Cut it out. Cut it out. Quit dying. Okay. Well, kind of difficult sometimes, Duke, though. Sometimes it just seems to happen. I don't know. Yeah, it's a great solution. Well, you know, but I learned so much when I was dead, briefly. It was brief, but I learned a lot. You know, one day I'll come on and talk about what all happened when I was dead and how that happened. It's a good story. It's a real good story. An elegant solution. Just don't die. Well, I think somebody has already tried that. We've already heard of species that go on a long, long time, and they learn quite a bit as they go on a long, long time. So maybe that's part of our problem is we did not, with our lifespan being cut down, we somehow couldn't develop. A lot of our stuff doesn't really even develop until we're over 40, seems like. So, Canadian. I put maple syrup in every. I love maple syrup. I really do. Even in my coffee. Yeah. Eh. Even in my coffee, eh? I used to go to Canada every year. My dad took us there every year. He loved Canada, so I almost moved to Canada. So I really like Canada, but y'all are having almost as much problems as we are now. You know, I liked Canada better, but really, I hate to say, y'all are having about the same kind of BS that we're having. So I'm sorry. Plus, you're colder than we are here in Ohio, which now that I'm a little older, I kind of appreciate warm. So let's see, what else can I say about the Mandela effect? Well, I started having it when I was, like I said, when I had my NDE and my OBE, which is an out of body experience, while I was having my near death experience. And you've been to Canton. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. I'm kidding. Okay. Um, Boy, but at least it wasn't Toledo. Could have been much worse. Could have ended up in Toledo. Then you'd really, then I'd really have to console you. But here where I am in Kent, at least it's kind of interesting. I mean, we have a little bit of fame. The Four Dead in Ohio song was written about here. And it's kind of interesting. A bunch of hippies, basically, are here, plus college kids. So it's a really weird mix. So, but the Mandela effect, I had, like, for instance, one thing that happened to me, and I will tell this story then, if you want to hear the story about one of my first Mandela effects that I absolutely had to admit that was a change. Okay. I absolutely had to admit it to myself. There were others, though, that I just didn't quite accept, but I had to accept it when I used to travel a lot because I was a vendor, and I got off at a rest stop that I always got off on the interstate. And it had always been a gas station, a Starvin' Marvin type gas station, and a diner. And they were on two different levels, and you would have to go to a different parking lot to get between them. And I did intend, I was magical even then, and I did intend that they start having cappuccino, which the Starvin' Marvin, was just, all they served was hot dogs and coffee and nachos and pop. That was it. That was all they ever had. It was just a gas station thing, convenience store type thing, and they didn't hardly have anything. But they did start having cappuccino, so I was all congratulating myself on, I got them to start serving cappuccino. I intended it, and they started doing it. So I was all happy. But then one day I got off at my usual stop, and I go down and I look, and I'm like, I can't believe my eyes. The two buildings are connected. And I'm like, wait a minute. I wonder when they did that. That must have been pretty fast. So I go into the gas part to get my car some gas. Here they have this big gift shop. I'm looking around. They never had a big gift shop. I'm like, what the heck? When did they build this? And I asked her, the girl that was at the cashier, I said, when did they build all this? And she said, 7 years ago. And I'm like, what? How can that be? I'm like expecting Rod Serling to be popping out of the shadows anytime saying, on the Twilight Zone, it's like it was very Twilight Zone. And so I go a little farther back in the gift shop, and here the gift shop is now connected to the diner. And not only is it connected to the diner, but they have a whole Starvin' Marvin complex. And my intention had been, I would like a place where I could take a shower. I would like a place where I could rest and watch TV. That kind of thing. But it'd be nice because it was a nice halfway point when I was traveling. Boy, it'd be nice if I had a few of these creature comforts that I could stop and have. Guess what? They had it. They had connected the two, so it was very easy to go back and forth between them and get your gas and then go up and have a meal and then get more gas, right? And then if you needed a shower or you wanted to watch TV, you could do that. So, oh, is that tree going? That tree, thanks for coming. It was very nice having you here. I'm glad you showed up. Hope you show up again. And honestly, when I had that happen, it was walking around in a Twilight Zone script. And I just walked around kind of dazed. I'm like, how in the freak did this happen? I checked to make sure this was the same stop. Yes, it was. It's the same stop I always got off of. Crazy. And then I expected it to be gone next time I went through there, but it was still there. And as far as I know, it probably still is there. But up until then, nobody had ever heard of such a thing as a Starvin' Marvin complex. Starvin' Marvin was just hot dogs and pop and coffee and nachos. That was it. When I told people that there was a Starvin' Marvin complex, they looked at me like I was nuts. I said, you go out and see it for yourself. So that's a true story. It was freaky. My gosh, that was, yeah. Etri? I don't know that is the right way. I thought it was Etri. Etri. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I hope I didn't upset anybody. Yeah, I will try to say your name right if you let me know how to say it. I don't want to alienate anybody, but it might just be kind of late for truth. I don't know, or maybe something else had to happen. But anyway, I'm going to get to the dowsing. You want me to get to the dowsing now, or do you want me to talk more about this? This is your show too, folks. I want it to always be your show too, because I think you're all very interesting people. I think you really is an Ethermopian. An Ethermopian? Am I saying that right, Farmy? Ethermopian? Oh my God. That's one of the reasons we keep your RAM farm. Portable, right? Tree. Okay, portable tree. Oh, you guys just keep doing that. I love that. I love that. Chat. You guys are the best chat. The best doggone chat. Honestly, I love you. Let me find out, what did I do with my dang pendulums? But you know what? I got to tell you, honestly, you can use pretty much anything that dangles as a pendulum, okay? I could probably use this right here. It's attached to my dress. I could probably use it. Oh, it is. Oh, you want to hear more about the reality shifts too? You know what? Maybe I will do a whole stream on reality shifts as well. Would you like that? Give me some likes and some shares and some more time, and I will do a stream on doggone near anything. Okay, so let me see if I can use this. I'm going to see. I'm just going to see, because I'm telling you, this is the and then this is going to be fairly short, okay? Because it's not hard. It's not hard to do this. This is very easy, and it's going to be a short lesson. You get yourself something that dangles on a string that means something to you. It can be a necklace. Let me see if I can use this. Hey, only the highest and best. What you want to do is you say only the highest and best guides can communicate with me this way. You intend that, okay? That's so you don't get something you don't want, because we all know there can be things that you don't want show up, and you don't want to talk to some things. I mean, people do that when they're playing with a Ouija board, and it's bad, okay? You don't want the wrong thing to be giving you advice. So you really want to, you might want to say a prayer to the God of your understanding. You might want to ask whoever you feel is protective to protect your reading. And you want to ask for the highest and best guidance, which is going to be some version of you. And yeah, I asked what they want to do next. So we'll have both, okay? I have a little time extra on this stream. Let me see if I can actually use this. It would be funny if I could. Okay, are you ready to only the highest and best? Show me yes. Oh my gosh, it is actually working. It's showing me a yes. Okay, and for me, I'm going to try and have you see it. For me, it is swinging, and for me, yes is swinging like this, in and out like this. And for me, no is side to side. Okay. And then you can also get a little bit more information. Like some people, if it's swinging counterclockwise in a circle, it's saying not yet. Or if it's swinging the other way, it's saying maybe. Or instead of a yes or no, like it could happen, but it's not definite, that kind of thing. You can get more precise, and it's through your intention that you get that to happen. But once you get really confident, you can start asking things. And then what I recommend you doing is ask things that you don't know legitimately, that you don't know for sure, and then write it down what the answers were, yes or no, or maybe, or whatever. And then look back and see how many of them you got right. And if you keep getting them right, okay, see, that's, yeah, people will have different, you can ask it. You can say, okay, show me yes. This is how you calibrate it. This is how you calibrate it. You say, show me a yes, and it'll do something. Show me a no, it'll do something else. Okay, then you ask a question, like you say, my name is Diane, or whatever. And if it's right, okay, great. And then you ask a question that would be the answer. Okay, whatever. And check it that way. And then, okay, you're ready to go. That you're ready to rock. That's why I said it's one of the first things you should try if you're not used to divination. It's one of the easiest things to do. So, and you can find something to use almost anywhere, right? It's easy. You don't have to have a special pendulum, although it's nice to have. And it gets more elaborate because you can lay out a board kind of like a Ouija board, and it will point to the letters that have the letters all around it, and yes, no, and all that. And it'll point to that. And there's a guy who is really proficient at it that I watch do this. And I mean, it goes so fast, I wouldn't be able to keep it. I don't know how he keeps up with it. But there is that technique too. So you can get quite elaborate with this one very, very simple technique, which is why I suggest you start with it. So, night, strange land. Have a great night. Oh, you turned into werewolf. Werewolf. They're wolf. Wait, never mind. Okay, night, strange. I'll try to have something a little earlier. I really need to have something earlier because this is kind of late for me too. And I appreciate everybody who's here. Oh gosh, pressure washes is mine. Pharmacy. Anything that dangles. Night, strange. Yeah. Okay. I expect this from you guys. I should expect this. Right. Anything that dangles you could use. Okay. Okay. Well, moving on. I don't know what to say after that. That just blew my mind. I'm speed. Boy. Okay. Just the idea of a pendulum, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I got a pendulum right here. Let me do a reading. Okay, give me a moment. I'll pull it together. I promise. Okay, that was, I think, the best one of the night. Farmy is going to get some kind of award tonight. He's really been coming up with them. Hi, Jenny. How you doing? Oh, you're not lurking. How great. I'm glad. Yes. I'm hoping it's always like this. I always want it to be like this. This is the way I like it. This is just the way I like it. Not too serious. Life isn't that serious. Come on. You know, and if it is, I'm sorry for you. I'm really sorry. Yeah, you know, Jarvis, I should have known. I should have known before I ever even, because I'm psychic. I should have known. But it didn't occur to me. I can't think of everything. Hi, Jenny. Okay. So, yeah, I can't think of everything at once, you know. I'm too busy trying to be gorgeous and, you know, and funny and entertaining and smart and get kind of challenged. But anyway, okay. Now, more weird. Is there still somebody in here that wants to hear more about the time slips, about the Mandela effects, the time slips, or shall we talk more about divination? What do you want? What do you want to talk about? What's more fun for you? Or do you just want to make dangle jokes? It's okay too. I don't care. Somebody want to come on and do stand-up comedy, even though you're probably sitting down? Yes, please. Okay, truth. Yes, please. What? Oh, more Mandela effect. Well, Mandela effect. Okay, I see. Well, honestly, there was another one. We went somewhere, and we were trying to. It was actually a time slip too. We went somewhere, went through a fog, and this is interesting because they do say I have heard it said that you can go through a fog sometimes, and if you don't come back out, you end up somewhere else. I think I've probably been around a bit. Time slips. I'm sitting here in my time slip right now. It's not my Freudian slip. My Freudian slip is in the closet. But turned into a flaming gasoline tank. That stream is gasoline. Anyway, wants to talk about remote viewing still. Time slips and remote viewing. Okay, how about remote viewing time slips? We could do that too. We could do a little bit both. Oh, the Zappa version of Ring of Fire? I bet it is. Divination stuff. Okay, this gives me ideas for future shows, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just make sure I have future shows about all these things, and we'll get more in depth about it, because I'm probably going to close this stream out at 2 hours, and there's so much that I have on these things that 2 hours is not going to do it for even any one subject, let alone 3. So I'll say a little bit more maybe about each of them, but then I'm going to have something coming up that's about each one of these things. And more. If you think about more you want me to talk about, because really I've been through just about everything. Seems like I mean, there's also other things like spirit drawing that you can have, where you can draw spirits and you can draw messages instead of just telling them to people. There's also cards and other divination. There's smoke divination, candle divination. People have made divination tools with every kind of thing. And I'll probably be going into how you make magical tools. I intend to have stuff on how to use rocks and minerals, stuff on how to talk with nature and how to affect nature in a friendly way, because I believe in doing it in a friendly way and respectful, because I think we get ourselves in a lot of trouble trying to subdue nature, because nature is actually really nice if you talk to her in a respectful way. Oh, I see, Truth. So you're kind of experiencing this yourself. Remote viewing versus astral projection. And you know what? I have wondered that same thing. There are people who make a distinction, and I think remote viewing, if it were me saying the difference, a lot of times remote viewing is one of the first things, and you're just viewing. But when you are astral projecting, I think that's when you get all the other senses coming in, and when you also get, eventually, like me, remote affecting on the etheric plane, because I can affect the etheric plane, which affects things in this realm because they're connected. So I guess I should also have a show about dream time and what the shamanic dream time is and how it connects the inner and outer worlds and how it connects the etheric realm with this realm that we're in here. How to talk with elementals, yes. And yeah, tiny pieces of a 2-hour stream. Yeah, it's just not enough time. But if you feel like you're losing it, I think we've all felt that way at some point. Most people who are, shamanism is a kind of losing yourself. You have to make a break with your old ID, your old identity. And some people can take that so far that they actually have a psychological break. or what people see as a psychological break. My husband tried to convince my ex-husband, like years ago, tried to convince people I was having a mental break. I was mental break dancing, actually, but no. When I was coming down with shamanism, because people treated it like it was some kind of an illness, I didn't know what was going on, really. I had to find out what was going on. And I joined about 5 metaphysical societies, all told. I helped found a couple. And trying to figure out what was going on and how I could control it, and learning more about it. I mean, I ate up everything I could. And even now I will go on. I look for more and more information all the time to keep me current. Yeah, I'm working on finding a schedule. And I really love this. So I'm honestly loving that I can reach out in this way, because it seems to go so easier than any other way. Thank you, Nessie. Okay, I love you, Nessie. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I missed you on the last one, sister. Okay, take care. Yeah, get some rest. Don't get sick. We're going to try and be on a little earlier, find some time to be on a little earlier. I don't know when that's going to be, because I really don't want to muscle in on anybody's territory. I love everybody and don't want to, but it's really hard because times are being taken up. So, anyway, yes, and I think that's another valuable thing about having this, is by hearing other people and what they went through, you realize maybe you're not as big of a, maybe you're not as gimpy as you thought you were. Maybe you're actually just going through a shift. Maybe it's not an illness. Maybe it's not a disease. Maybe it's just the way things happen. Because a shamanic, you walk between worlds to mediate for the people. This is not what you normally get taught to do in our society. So yeah, you're going to seem kind of crazy and strange and weird. And we already know weird is actually good. So yeah, you know what? I have had to learn there's not everybody I can talk about this with. First of all, you're not going to be able to wake up everybody. Don't think that you're going to do that. You know what? If they're meant to wake up, they will wake up just from knowing you. Really, this is what I find. You don't have to go and shake anybody awake. Gradually, bit by bit, they'll start to wake up if they're meant to. And bad enough meditating with real people, mediating. Yeah. Yeah, Duke, you're gonna need some serious firepower in order to do that one. Yeah. Maybe he'll find himself a magic item that'll fix it up. But yeah, maybe you're not broken. As a matter of fact, there are some of my teachers who have taught that none of us are really broken. We're all just going through the process that we are going through because of whatever reason, and it's not really broken. It's just different. So, right, exactly, Bomber, exactly. I'm going to put that right up here. Maybe you are connecting to sources you were meant to and walking on your path. So now Bomber is also finding her new job as a sage. There's another skill that she didn't know she had. Okay. Yeah, D20. You too? You too, Portable? We're all gamers in here. So many gamers. Yeah, you know what? That's another thing. I find that a lot of us are gamers. I guess because we can expand our minds in that way and realize that we're this is like a game. And I really am more and more heading towards the Matrix Earth. I seem to have memories of that too. I seem to have memories of what it was like when we built this. So if somebody gives me like flat Earth, round Earth, hollow Earth, whatever, yeah, it could also all be true. Just change a little code. I mean, your DNA is code. It literally is code. They call it that. What if it is code? What if it really, really is code? Because you change a string of DNA, you change a string of code, and it's all different. And if you are really bad at it, you might come up with a monstrosity. And if you're really good at it, then you come up with what you want. But see how that works? And it's been staring us in the face for a long, long time now. Everything is energy and everything is code. And this is all code. So, yep. You, as a matter of fact, like I said, the Heyoka would be considered by most people to be nuts. They would wash themselves with sand and dry with water. Crazy Horse rode backwards into battle. Sure did freak out the opponent. And they said he could ride his horse through a battlefield and not get shot. That takes a lot of doing. I mean, that is a very high level of shamanism. And I mean, you see Neo in the Matrix. That's a very high level of shamanism, is to be able to not get shot. But yeah, life is a game. So what if we look at it that way? Now you're going to feel every minute of it because we built this place really good. We did. We made it so real, seem so real. But people on the other side, and if you accomplish the mediumship thing really well, you'll find almost all of them will tell you it feels more real over there. It feels more real over there. What does that mean? They're fine. They'll tell you they're fine. They'll tell you it feels more real there. That is probably our reality, not this. So why are we here? As I recall, we made a learning game, and I will go into what my recollections of building the Matrix. I actually, in this life right here, saw the start, the very beginning of building what could it be, end up being the Matrix. Because I was working on building 3D worlds for like gaming and chat. And they called them worlds. And I will tell you about my adventures there too, because a lot of very psychic people were there too. We're drawn to that. It's like we're drawn to certain things, but a lot of us are drawn to gaming. A lot of us are drawn to the 3D stuff and virtual reality, working in that field, if we're kind of the geeky kind. And that's, oh, wait a minute. And MCAT says, see what wisdom he has. The interesting thing about games are, first you learn what the rules are. You might not be good at them. You might not be able to articulate them. But eventually you learn what the rules are, and then you leave us hanging. Okay, thanks, MCAT. Yeah, you eventually get better at it. And eventually you can make up the rules. Exactly. Nice one, MCAT. Check out Farmy's place. Yeah, we love Farmy. We love Carlton. Although That name always reminds me, it was a Bob Newhart. Hi, I'm Carlton, your doorman. Every time I hear that name, I think of Carlton the doorman from, I believe it was Newhart's show. Anyway, that's one of my favorite characters, though. So, really, how crazy are we? So, people can have their flat earth, people can have the round earth, people can have their honeycomb earth. You know what? String of code, you can do anything you want with it. I made those worlds. I worked on those worlds the very, very beginning. I can only assume that since I came here at this time to be here to work on the very genesis of the matrix, that at some point in the future, we have a matrix, and I am a designer there too. Now, that doesn't mean I was working with ones and zeros. That was somebody else's job. I had a different language that I used. It was called BMRML at that time. But then I learned a different one after that, and a different one. It progressed. But honestly, I'm really convinced that this probably is a matrix. And that's why things can just, the Mandela effect can happen. We changed, some code got changed, and boom, Mandela effect. Code got changed. Here's a weird one, is when there are actually people who have had their spouses. I had my spouse change. I wonder about this too, because a lot of people had this happen, where you look across the room and you go, at some point you go, who are you and what have you done with my loved one? Because they're different. It's not the same person. And you can't put your finger quite on it. They have different likes. Some cases it's so intense. One person was saying their husband would never touch ketchup, only mustard, only mayo, never ketchup. All of a sudden he started liking ketchup, not mustard. And it was a weird, subtle change, but it just totally freaked her out. Because, I mean, he was totally anti-ketchup, right? Now, that's something that most people maybe around him wouldn't notice so much, but your close loved ones notice these things. So what happened? She's still in a quandary about it. Yeah, this is feeling, have you noticed it's feeling less and less real as time goes on? 2020 goes on and it's less real, it's more wee woo woo, you know. Really, honestly, 2020 is surreal as hell. Oh, not as hell. I think hell, I think somebody constructed hell. I really do. Somebody made hell because it's not really listed in the Bible. I studied the Bible a long time when I was a kid. My parents were religious, so I had to do that. But, and I got so much trouble everywhere. Actually, I asked the wrong questions everywhere, in Sunday school and everywhere else. I was asked the wrong questions. And I soon learned that I had to kind of rein it in because, 42, 42. Basically, when you break it down, it is asterisk, which means anything you want. So is Douglas Adams a prophet when he told us that the meaning of life, the universe, and everything is 42, when Deep Thought said that in his book? Was he a prophet? Perhaps. Or was he making a joke? Perhaps. I don't know. But he also may be right about pardon the inconvenience. Because at the end of the series, spoiler alert, they get to the end of the whole thing and they find out the reason why is pardon, our dust sort of message. We're still constructing it. We're still making reality. we're changing it all the time. So there's always going to be some dust, I guess. So the meaning of life, 42, and I guess in geek speak, 42 is anything you want, means anything you want, means asterisk, means anything you want. So maybe that's the truth. Douglas Adams is no longer here, but maybe he's there. I don't know. He probably could be. I could probably have a chat with him if I really wanted to. He might show up and talk to me. I don't know. If he ever does, I'll let you know. Oh, I might be talking about some celebrity deceased people that I talked to after living, because I have talked to some celebrity after living, and it was quite interesting. So we'll probably be doing some of that too. I'll talk about all this stuff. We have plenty of time, I think. Once I get unlimited streaming, we have plenty of time. I'd just be on a lot, probably talking about all kinds of things. And you can help drive that too. I always want you to be a part of this. Yeah, many of us, truth is right, most of us are just becoming more aware. Yeah, I think people make hell. I think hell was made, maybe not even people, maybe, but I think hell was constructed. And, people can disagree. But, yeah, when they talk about judgment, that seems to be different. It seems to be different than hell. Because God, they never talk about God making hell. Not even in the Bible do they talk about God creating hell. Which is kind of interesting, don't you think? But let's not go too deep into that. I don't want to get too much into religion because I don't want to offend anybody. People have their cherished beliefs, and that's fine. Things will still work, even with whatever pantheon you go with. They'll still work out after a fashion for you, I think. I believe in the end. I believe in the end, maybe we'll come to the other side of this one day and all join hands and say, ha ha, wasn't that a trip, man? Wow, that was a heck of a game. And I was so worried. It was so real. I was so worried. Sometimes I really was believing it all, man. I was believing all that stuff. Man, it was so real. Except 2020 seems so surreal. I think it's just going to keep getting more that way. I think 21 is going to be even more surreal. Oh, I do have a prediction about Trump, who got the C. He got the CV. He got the Rona. But, him and his spouse have the Rona now. And some people are real worried about this, and I am not. And I will tell you why. But you got to show up for the next stream. I'm just going to be mean and do it that way so people show up. Or maybe I'll just put it out in a video. I think that, yeah. Well, there are seers who have said similar things, that hell is mostly, people end up in hell, they usually put themselves in hell. That's what I have heard. I didn't see hell, and I wasn't perfect. All I can say is for sure, without trying, I don't mean to offend anybody once again, I wasn't perfect, and I didn't see hell. And people have their theories about why that is. That's okay. But really, I wasn't perfect then. I'm not perfect now. I don't see myself going to anywhere bad when I die. I think I'm probably going to be just as fine as I was last time, which was nice. It was a nice place. And I will have a lot of friends there. And I will see my loved ones, and it will be very nice. I think I will be in a very nice place because it was last time. It was a beautiful garden at first. And then I saw other places too. So I'll talk about it sometime. Yeah, there are people who want to go to hell. They really want it bad. I have met them. I don't know why. I don't know what they think they're going to get there. Maybe they got some idea of what they're going to get there, what they're going to have, what kind of existence that they like that. But I don't know. I suppose if you die and you really think you belong there, or if you really think you want to be there, that you can have it. Yeah. If you're a really evil person, and know you are, there is a thing that I've always heard about. I've heard about from many, called the review. That is, when you die, one of the things that happens is kind of a debriefing of all that happened to you in your life, so that you can review it and see what you can get out of it, really. And the review is probably the most scary part about the other side, because if you were a real jerk, the review is probably going to be real painful, because you will see how you affected everybody else. You will feel how you made everybody else feel. And you will know what they were thinking and why they were doing what they were doing. And I suppose for some people that would really be a hell. And I'm sure it's not particularly comfortable for most of us. But you understand a lot more after you go through that. As my understanding, you finally understand why certain things happen. And right, Bomber, and you were welcomed with unconditional love and acceptance. That's wonderful. What, long and boring? What's long and boring? Yeah. I would like you to share that. Would you like to come on and share that? Like maybe next time, Truth, because we don't have very much time left. I'm going to cut it off at 2 hours, which is about 3 minutes. And I hope, and it's going to end up being 1:30 something here. So it's kind of it's late for me. And yeah, it's like a debriefing. That's what it seems to be like. Yeah, Truth, come on in. I'll give you my link. We'll make sure that you have the link to come in. And just talk to, if you don't have MeWe, download MeWe, where there's a group called Ohio Woo Crew on MeWe. MeWe's a chat. It's like Facebook, but without the data mining. And a lot of us are in there. And download MeWe. We can chat there. You can get a hold of me there. I'm Diane Swagger there, I think. Who am I there? I have all these aliases. I have all these people in. But go ahead and join Ohio Woo Crew and we'll find you. And anybody else who wants to join Ohio Woo Crew, will find you in there. I will get notifications and we'll talk to you in there. And you can talk. Most of us, I believe, are in that too. That is our, chat of choice. That's our social media of choice, because they're not like Facebook. So they're not jerky like Facebook. Okay, I'm going to close it down. I love you guys. Remember, make waves, because waves is all there are. And the truth is where you find it, and I hope you're finding some of it here. And please come into MeWe and tell me what you want me to talk about, and I want you to help drive the ship, okay? Row, row, row. Love you.